infection control. We're going to start off with the federal and state agencies that regulate the practice of barbering. The federal and state agencies that regulate the practice of barbering. I need to know, what are some of the federal agencies? What are some of the federal agencies that regulate? I heard somebody say
OSHA.
OSHA. Okay. What does OSHA stand for?
Occupational safety.
Administration.
That sounds about right. Yeah. It said occupational safety, health, and health administration. So they should have another A in there.
I mean,
That's what she said.
they should, but they don't.
Yeah. They don't put that L in there.
No.
Let's just remember what
If they don't,
Okay.
if they put the A,
The A
you know,
silent.
it's gonna be weird.
All right, but okay, it's too many. It'll be too many letters. All right. So, what is it? What is it that OSHA helps us with, or what do they do? What is their agenda?
Regulate and enforce safety
And
and
Yeah.
have
health
standards
standards.
to protect employees. And
Right. Has anybody been OSHA certified before? Yeah. Did you know that you can get OSHA certified?
I think I had
Yeah.
it one time, but like I lost
Yeah.
it.
So like when you think about certain career fields like plumbing, electrical, and stuff like that, and you get OSHA certified, and they show you those videos, what they used to, and they show videos of people getting tore up. They show people actually. I'm like, the first time, when I saw it one time, and I'm like, I know they didn't just show this tractor falling down on somebody, you know, like the whole thing, and they showed it. And then they showed somebody getting electrocuted. Like, these real people that people love them. This is their family. And they show those things. But I understood about it as I was going through the videos, why they show it. Why did they show it? Why do you think?
Show you that it's the real dangers of whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
Take it serious.
Yeah.
It's that shock factor. They want you to see somebody dying for real, like it's not a movie.
Yeah.
So that you can be what?
Aware.
Yeah, and so you can make sure that you follow protocol and that you're safe. Well, that's the same thing when it comes to barbering. Okay, we're not doing the things that they do in the construction field, but OSHA does. They still regulate what we do. Another agency, one thing that we have to have, that we're required to have, are what?
Safety data sheet.
Yes.
Data sheet.
They used to call them MSDS, but now it's like just safety data sheets. And these are the sheets that go with what? What do they go with?
Like products. Yeah.
Chemicals.
Yeah. So when we think about just even detergents, well, not disinfectants and stuff like that, we think about what's the composition of them. So when the health department comes in, and you're trying to get your certificate, your health department once a year, so they're going to ask you, hey, so do you have your safety data sheets? And we're going hopefully you're going to say yeah, you know, and then you're able to take them to where your safety data sheets are and show them, I have this product and this is the safety data sheet for it. And those safety data sheets can be found where? What do you think?
The product, the manufacturers.
Yeah, they might come with the product, right?
Yeah.
Or you can find them online. You might look up a product and put safety data sheet, and it may be right there online. And so sometimes if you are a barbershop owner, or if you have your own suite or something like that, and the health department comes by and they want those safety data sheets, just make sure you print out some. Do they want one for every product that you have?
Yeah.
No. They kind of don't. That's too many sheets. But I mean, that's too much. You understand?
Yeah.
A lot of times they just want to make sure that you're what? It starts with C. We gotta think health. We gotta think dealing with the folks, you know, compliant. All right, so when we think about another agency that's federal, did someone say EPA?
Yes.
Someone said EPA. What do they do?
I don't know, we started that.
Y'all stop right there? Okay, cool. So let's continue from there then. So what does it stand for?
Environmental Protection Agency.
Environmental Protection Agency. All right. So what they do is they regulate disinfectants. We're going to talk about disinfectants in a minute. Like, I want you to really see the difference. I'm not sure how much was broken down already, but I want you to actually see the difference when it comes to disinfectants. When you go to a hospital, what do you notice in the hospital?
Hand sanitizer everywhere.
Sanitize everywhere.
You got
All
people
right.
with gloves and masks.
All right. We think about that. All right.
Smell of it.
Does it look dirty?
No.
Right. Does it smell dirty? Right. You say,
I work in the hospital.
is it warm?
No, it's cold.
Yeah,
It's cold, right?
very cold.
That keeps
What
germs
we're talking about is bacteria.
right.
This chapter. All right. So we're going to see these reasons as to why a hospital is like that. So when we think about what hospitals use, it's called hospital disinfectants. All right. It cleans blood and body fluids from non-porous surfaces. When we think about non-porous, we're talking about surfaces. If it says non-porous, it means like no pores. Remember, we trying to keep it simple. That means pores mean it lets something in, right? So if it's no pores, if we pour something on this table, what's it gonna do?
Sit.
It's not sick.
Or it's gonna run off if we pour too much, right? But it's not gonna absorb. We're not looking for absorption from the table. If we pour something on some metal, it's gonna sit or it's gonna run off, all right? That's something that's non-porous. Something that's porous is gonna be something like what we're wearing. You know, clothes and sponges and stuff like that that we might use to wipe something down with. All right, so the control of disease, when we think about hospital and other environments, hospitals use disinfectants. That's just a thing to keep in mind. What are the types of disinfectants that hospitals use? One of them is called quats. Quats, that's the shortened form, that's the shortened word for it. It's quats. So quaternary ammonium compounds. Sometimes when you look at certain disinfectants that we might buy from the store, it's going to say quats on there. It's just certain compounds that they put together that are on hospital level.
He said culinary what compound?
Quaternary ammonium compounds. And then we have something that we know this is old school. Tuberculocidal disinfectants. Why? Why is that old?
Yeah, tuberculosis.
Yeah. When the last time you heard of somebody that had tuberculosis? When's the last time you heard of somebody that had that? You know, so it's probably a long time, right? That's not such a thing now. But the thing is, the hospitals, they had it at one time, and so they make tuberculocidal disinfectants to kill that. All right, that bacteria. Okay. All right, so we had to get past that just to get to this. Well, we're gonna still get to the disinfecting part in a minute. All right, so those are just some things that are on the federal level. That's the federal level. What about the state level? The state regulatory agencies, we're not going off the book. We leave the book alone on this one. So I got this now, we're gonna go here. So I'm gonna write state. So we have, is that an agency?
DPR.
Yeah.
What is the
Occupation
board? The board?
Yeah. Some people call it DPOR. Some people say that. Some people say DPOR. It's an acronym for Department of Professional Occupation Regulation. I think. I know I got it. Department of Professional and Occupational Regulation. When you get your license, when you finish school and you get your license, that's what's on there. That's who gives it to you.
Okay.
You get it from them. Yeah, DPOR. Yeah, they give electricians theirs. They give plumbers theirs. Like, they're the agency that's in charge, the state agency, that's in charge of giving that license out. But they not only do they give out the license to us individually as barbers, but they give the license out to barbershop owners.
Okay.
You know, they give it to the barber school owners. So, like a person like me, I would have 3 of them. I have my individual one for the school, one for the shop.
Okay.
They getting some money from me, right? Especially if I miss paying.
Oh yeah.
If I miss paying and after a certain period of time, they're like, oh yeah, you need to reinstate it. They love to say that part. Because see, then you're paying double, you know? And so that's something that we have to think about when we think about our dues that are do every couple years to DPR. That's one of the state agencies. What's another state agency? We mentioned one a little while ago.
Environmental protection.
No, that's federal. All right, so we just mentioned them a little while ago. That's federal too, right? All right, so
Skateboarding.
that's this the state board.
That's state board.
All right, what about the health department?
Oh yeah.
We talked about them coming through. So the health department, that's from the city. So, which falls up under state, right? So we think about that agency, and then we think about, what about the fire marshal? The fire marshal comes by, so we're gonna put that on the state. Why does the fire marshal come by? What do they wanna see?
As far as like
Extinguisher.
your plugs and stuff,
Right.
Yeah.
to make sure y'all got the right
Yeah.
outlet so stuff don't trip and catch
Yeah.
fire.
They're serious too. They're serious. They tell you, hey look, we're gonna be back in a couple weeks.
Have all this fixed.
Have it fixed.
And
Have it
it's
right.
fixed.
That extinguisher don't need to be on the floor, it need to be hanging up
Right.
on the right hook.
Beauty shop.
Yeah, all that stuff. It needs to be right.
Beauty
So
shop is a
that's
great example.
yeah.
Of how many times the fire marshal and health department came in and shut it down.
Yeah. Oh, the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Beauty shop.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So and that's a real thing.
Yeah, right.
And they will come by and then you know you got to they want the money, but all of them want the money. But at the same time, they want to make sure that you have a measure of safety. That's what this chapter is about, safety. All right. Who's another entity that we have to go through on the state level, just to keep things going? Who else? Now we're gonna think about on the ownership level. So on the ownership level,
To get your LLCs and stuff.
okay, we'll do that. So SCC. All right, State Corporation Commission. All right, you're right. So that's on a state level. And then you have another one beyond, that's from Richmond. That's like the state. And then what about in the city? You have the,
State corporation.
Yeah, that's what I.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, see? And so on the city level, you're gonna have that business license that you have to get. That's not on a barber level. It's on like if you own a business, you know. But if you wanted to get one on a barber level, you can still get this. Like ones that have a suite and stuff like that. You can get that.
It's called State Corporation what?
Commission.
Commission.
All right. All right. Is everyone finished with this part?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, let's get in. I just want to get past this part right here, because this gets me to the fun. This is the fun stuff coming up. Let's talk about bacteria. That's the stuff. That's the stuff y'all scared of. Y'all scared of that part, but that's the fun part. Watch this. All right. I can't wait for y'all to take notes. I gotta breeze through this because I know y'all taking notes, but just maybe take some pictures of the board, okay, when I write some stuff down, if you can. That way I can move a little faster. All right. So what we just covered was the first objective: discuss federal and state agencies that regulate the practice of barbering. So we just completed that part. All right, that part is done. All right, now we're going into learning objective number 2, and this one is list the types and classifications of bacteria and define blood. And then 3, we'll just think about 2 right now. All right, we'll think about number 2. So it says list the types and classifications of bacteria. But before we get into 2, I need y'all to help me with something. It's 3 levels of cleanliness that we're gonna talk about. All right, 3 levels. So we're gonna, 1,
Sanitation.
okay.
And it's sterilization.
Disinfectant.
Disinfectant and sterilization.
Yes. That's the right order right here. Keyshawn, give me that black marker, please. This is one in that pack. You see one in there? Yeah. All right, so all right, so we think about sanitation. All right, thank you. Appreciate it. So when we think about sanitation, right? let's say we at the park. All right, we got a little baby. We got a toddler. It might not be ours, but we got one with him. We watching. And so what happens is something fell on the, something got dirty on the little table. A little dirt or something fell on the table. They got to eat. So they got to eat. So you like, oh man, we don't have nothing to wipe the table. All we have is this hand sanitizer right here and some napkins. So if you use that hand sanitizer and those napkins, that's better than what?
Nothing.
Better than nothing. So what is it going to do with the bacteria though? Because we want to make sure that the child is to our in the capacity that we have at that point. We want to make sure that the child is able to be able to be clean, or be able to be safe with whatever they eat. So when we sanitize something and we use a hand sanitizer, what it does is it gets rid of less bacteria. All right. So we're going to say less bacteria. So it's not going to get rid of all of it. It's just like the least amount of bacteria. But it still makes us, but it's better than nothing. So like, hey, go ahead, eat that food right there. So go ahead. You all right, just, they ain't looking at you anyway, think about if it's dirt. They might, because they babies or they young, right? But then, what if we have some awesome or something around, some Lysol, some pine, so now we're thinking about something that, don't use that. Yeah. Well, just some kind of disinfectant on a disinfectant level. So what does that do with bacteria? Well, it gets rid of most,
Right.
yeah, bacteria. So now when you think about everybody eating, you like, okay, like, it's kind of clean. And it's going to probably be on a what kind of surface that we talked about earlier? Non-porous, right? So sterilization, though,
It's
all bacteria.
and that's the hospital.
Right? No, that's hospital.
That's hospital.
So, but that will be at a hospital too, or in a lab, So there's different forms of complete sterilization. All right, there are different forms of it. So when we think about these things, we have sanitation level, less bacteria; disinfection level, most bacteria; sterilization level, all bacteria. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about the levels of getting rid of bacteria. In the barbershop, sometimes we have closed cabinets, and they have the UV rays and stuff like that. Okay, when we think about scientists, and we think about when they had the beakers and the tubes and all that, what does it seem like? You see that little steam and stuff come up. You already figured that that's an environment where there's what?
Bacteria.
The sterilization taking place, like complete, right? That's an environment for that. But as soon as something when you think about it, as soon as something hits the air, then what?
Right.
We think about some people in the past, they lived in a bubble, stuff like that. They were like, in their own way, I guess that was a form of sterilization, perhaps. Still trying to get away from bacteria. All right, so what we have to think about, the reason why we have these different levels is because of these two things, or at least one of them. So when we think about the spread of disease, something is going to be pathogenic or non-pathogenic. So it's going to be pathogenic or non-pathogenic. All right. So it says that most bacteria are really non-pathogenic. And so when you think non-pathogenic, we're going to say not harmful. Most. Does that make sense? Most bacteria aren't really so harmful. They're just bacteria. But then there are some that are just strictly pathogenic. The ones that means they are what?
Harmful.
They are harmful. Right. So what we're going to be focusing on this particular part is the fact that are the ones that are harmful. The pathogenic bacteria. All right. So not only are we talking about bacteria, but we're also talking about these things. Everybody got that?
Yeah, I put it this.
All right, you already did?
Yeah.
I hope so. Okay. So we're talking about bacteria. We're going to get into that like deeply. We're talking about fungi. We're talking about viruses, parasites. All right. We're talking about those. You okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get it. Come on. All right, look.
He's breaking it down though. I like
I
when
don't-
he's breaking it down.
Deep breathing just helps me not get anxiety.
That's right. Let's deep breathe
Deep
then.
breathing.
Tell us when we all need to start.
Yeah.
So we all good? All right.
All
So
right.
look, so these are the things when we think about, these are the things that are what, non-pathogenic or pathogenic?
Pathogenic.
Pathogenic, right? We're concerned about the ones that are pathogenic, right?
Yes.
So let's say, we're gonna switch subjects a little bit, but we're gonna get back to this. Let's say it's someone that is trying to, has thoughts of doing harm to themselves or even killing themselves, right? So that means this person might be suicidal, right? They're suicidal. So you're probably like, why are we talking about that? Something suicidal. Well, a person that's suicidal, they want to kill or destroy who?
Themselves.
Self. Alright? But the part that we're focusing on, they want to kill or destroy self. The part that we're focusing on is kill or destroy. And that means, that's this suffix, sidal.
Kill the school.
Kill or destroy is sidal. Alright? Kill or destroy is sidal. So when we think about kill and destroying bacteria, we'll take that A off and we'll put this. Something like that, right? And then I might have some word wrongs, but it might be wrong, I don't know. And I don't think parasites have them. Alright, so it's bactericidal, virucidal, fungicidal.
It might
To
be-
kill.
Is it placidal? No, man. I don't even think that's a word.
Virucidal, as a matter of fact, it's a C up here.
Parasite.
It's a C. So all of these have a C on them.
Spelling bee checks. We
Huh?
I said, we ain't gotta do the spelling bee checks. We barbers.
But you got it though, right? You understand? So what it's talking about, so do you understand the breakdown? So it's just basically saying to kill or destroy. So that's what we do. We want to we're in an environment to where what we need to do to make people feel safe is we are to kill or destroy for them the bacteria, fungi, or viruses. That's our job. All right, as professionals in this field. All right, so that's what we do. So don't forget that that's going to be on the test or exam. All right, to kill or destroy cyto. We're going to talk about bacteria now. Specifically bacteria just at this point. Bacteria are single-celled microorganisms. All right. Just put it. All right. Single-celled microorganisms, bacteria. All right, that's what they are. Single-cell microorganisms. So the thing about it is, we've already talked about it. When it comes to bacteria, two types. One that's harmful, one that's not harmful. So when we think about the one that's harmful, what's that called again? Pathogenic. We just think about like it's on the, it's tearing stuff up. So yeah, it's pathogenic. But when we think about one that's non-harmful or harmless, it's non-pathogenic. We just put the non up there, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So now, what are the classifications of pathogenic bacteria. What are the classifications? That's what we're going to talk about right now. All right, the classifications. And these are going to be things where you're going to be thinking about like, wow, okay, that came from that, or that came from that, or so. Let's talk about it. I'll keep that up there for now. So one of them is cocci. That's the name that's the way that you pronounce it. Cocci.
Or cockeye.
Cocci. Yeah. Cocci. So yeah, it's cocci. Just to let you know how to pronounce it.
Round.
The enunciations. That's a round shape bacteria. So we have 3 different types. So we have cocci.
Staphylococcus.
Ready for the next one?
Yep.
We have bacilli. Bacilli, we Italian now.
Right.
Bacilli. So we have bacilli. All right. And that one's going to be rod shaped. Rod. It's rod shaped. All right. And then we have the last one is sporilla. And that is like it sounds. Spiral shaped. So it's very interesting when we think about these things and the fact that they have a certain shape to them. All right.
That's how they can tell what it is.
That's how they can tell under the microscope what they are. Move this out of the way. You get there. All right. So cocci. I'm just looking at the word, right? Just be looking at the word cocci. I see that O in there. I'm like, okay, cocci is gonna be round.
Circle.
I see that. I see this. It's round. It's gonna be round. All right. And then sporilla, I know that's spiral. So the only one left is gonna be bacilli. It's gonna be rod shaped. You don't have to remember the 3. All right. So what we're doing is we're doing association. We're trying to remember things, but we got real things to remember in our life. Get home, cook, go do this errand, do that errand. You won't have time to think about this stuff all the time. So we want to make it so that this stuff right here is easy. That we don't have to do much thinking for this, because we got to do more thinking for life, right? So that's what we're trying to do is break it down. So bacteria, single cell. I'm putting as the least amount of words as possible beside something. That way it's the least amount of thinking. And then when you take your test and exam, it's going to be more words, but you can connect to something to be able to get that answer. All right, so we got cocci, bacilli, sporilla. All right, now what we're going to do, we're going to go into the cocci part. There's one, I'll erase these.
Oh, that's a C.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was
Staphylococci. Staphylococci, bunches, like
cluster.
grape or clusters,
Ugh.
grapes. So, have you ever heard of anybody that had staph?
Yeah, staph infection.
You heard that word before? Yeah, they got staph. Or it might be in the medical field and they say somebody got staph. That's that. That's Staphylococci. That's it. That's the type of bacteria that they have. And so it says some types of staph or Staphylococci, it says may not cause infection in healthy humans, although others may be what? Deadly. It might be deadly. So at some point, those 4 things we had on the board, bacteria, viruses, parasites, fungi. When we think about these things, I'm gonna ask you probably later, like, hey, which one would you rather just be dealing with? You know what I'm saying? If it's an elimination of what you got to do, because some people be like, oh, I don't want no virus. You know, but then sometimes when you start thinking more about this bacteria, you're like, hey, that bacteria is kind of rough too. All right, so let's look at the next one. The next one is strepto. Strepto, yeah. Streptococcus is responsible for, like Mike said, strep throat. All right. So that one right there, and blood poisoning. So I'm gonna put that too.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that. Strep with blood poisoning too.
Yeah. Strep throat. But let me put this up here. Staph. Sorry about that. I ain't put it up there earlier. All right. So we want to know. We want to see what it's responsible for. Well, what does it look like? It says it's like in curved lines, like beads. So this is bunches. So this one is beads. All right. If I was really good with the colors and all, I don't feel like doing all the taking the tops off and stuff. That it would be more pleasing to the eyes. But that's what we got right here. The last one though. The last one is Diplo. Coxy. Diplocoxy. Alright. Diplo, we're gonna say pairs. Pairs. Alright. So pairs. So when we look at it, we got bunches like grapes, we got beads, and we got pairs. Alright. What is Diplo responsible for? Unfortunately, pneumonia. Pneumonia. See? So when we think about this, and I think that that's, if you want to get that's complete now. All right, as far as taking the picture. But so yeah, so those are the three types when it comes to bacteria. These are the things that we want to try to just think of. If we make little flashcards, or we just kind of just read over, you know, or test ourselves, you're not going to forget it. It's the tests and exams, even for the state board, it's not going to be more complicated than this. This is it. This the science. The people in college that this is their major. They're going way deeper.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They get under the microscope. But us, this is where we stop. We stop right here. All right. So tomorrow, I look forward to it. Just soak this up right here, and everything that we talked about so far. But tomorrow we're starting towards the beginning of class, so we're gonna have a longer period. We'll take a break and then we'll get back to it. Because I want to cover a lot of this chapter. The stuff that you're gonna hear tomorrow, you're gonna like it. You're gonna like it.
Who said that?
I know. I done taught this class plenty of times. Like, you can tell I like this chapter myself. Like, this is one of my chapters I like.
Like I said, I
Yeah.
always tell you that, dude. I like the way you break it down. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like,